Welcome back to your book recommendations. I hope you're doing well, Tall. It's really good to see you, even if I can't see you. I'm really feeling this this look today. I feel a little bit like that girl from what is it? Is it like Chippendale? I'll try to see if I can find like a photo, but I feel like that bitch. I hope you're doing well. I hope everything is going good for you. And I hope, please, that you haven't read any of these books yet. Without further ado, let's get started. I told you in the last recommendations that I think you should read Blood on the Tracks by Shuzo Oshimi. And since giving those recommendations, I still stand by them. And I think actually from looking at your Goodreads, you did read Blood on the Tracks, and I imagine that you loved it because it's so fucking good. But since you loved Blood on the Tracks, and since they're so slow in coming out, I thought I would give you another recommendation of more of his work that's actually completed and that you can like binge or buy the whole thing of, and that is Happiness by Shuzo Oshimi. It's the same dude, and just look at that beautiful art. It's gorgeous. Oh my god. I am obsessed with the art style of these books. The work he does is so gorgeous. By the way, excuse the fact that I have one hand of nails, the other hand doesn't. Anyway, Happiness is following one boy, right? This boy is kind of like a loser. He's kind of like the nerd. Like, nobody really seems to like him that much, and the other students basically just make him do shit for them. He's like an average kid that people kind of look down on. But then one night he's walking home and he gets attacked by a girl who clamps down on his throat and drinks his blood. And she asks him like, do you want to become like me? And he's like, well, I don't want to fucking die. That's what you're fucking asking. I definitely don't want to fucking die. And so she says, fine, I won't kill you. And then, she, leaps away. And then from that point on, this boy becomes a vampire. How do I describe this? It's so dark and fucked up and crazy. The artwork only lends itself to helping the story and the plot move along and become even that much more impactful. This is dark, it's disturbing, it's fucked up, and it's weird. I know you've read Blood on the Tracks, and it's kind of like that, but almost more. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's more disturbing than that even. And it's like, I can't even explain it. It fills you with dread. I'm telling you, Tall, you need to read this. I think you would fucking love it because it's dark, it's edgy, and like I said, it's just bleak. It's very, very bleak, and I think you would love it. I know that you love a good gore fest, and there is some gore, but it's much more like psychological, similar to Blood on the Tracks. Okay, what are you doing, sir? What is this? Look at this guy. What are you doing? What are you doing? You're being a weirdo. Okay, bye. I just finished this book a few days ago, and like almost instantly after I finished it, I was like, I have to know, and I have to recommend this to Tall to know how she's gonna feel about it. I know that we have similar book tastes, but I think, in my opinion, this is Stephen Graham Jones' best book. And I checked your Goodreads, and it said that you hadn't read it yet. So please, I hope you haven't read it. And if you have, I'm so sorry. But I'm talking about The Night of the Mannequins. I need you to read this, and I need you to tell me what you think. Night of the Mannequins is following a group of teenagers who one summer come across this mannequin, and they think it's hilarious to prank each other with it. They do one final prank. Something very strange happens, and the plot is like propelled forward from there, where it seems like there's a mannequin going around their town and murdering everyone. There is one or two aspects about this book that I don't enjoy, in my opinion. personally, is my favorite Stephen Graham Jones so far. So far. I, like you may know, I wasn't crazy about The Only Good Indians, or rather I wasn't crazy about the last half of The Only Good Indians. And then The Last Final Girl, I kind of felt the same way, where like the first half just like instantly had me, the second half lost me. But this, it felt very consistent the whole way through, which isn't something that I'm used to with his books. So I'm glad to report that this is the first book of his that I can say without a doubt is at least 4 stars. And I think you should read it because I'm interested to know what your opinion is. It's not scary and it's not what you think. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to give anything away. I'm just going to say that it's not scary, not really at least, and it's not what you think. I think you have to read this. You have to. It's the law. It's the law. I have 2 books that are part of a series duology thing that I think you're gonna love. And I think you're really, really gonna like, because I really, 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 really like these and I don't talk about them enough. And that is Katherine Arden's Small Spaces and Dead Voices. Small Spaces is following a young girl named Ollie. Ollie is your average, everyday kind of girl. She, you know, she has friends. She's very smart. She likes to go to school. She comes across one day this woman by a river who's just fucking weeping openly, just crying, sobbing. And this woman is trying to throw this book into the river. And Ollie sees this and is like, no fucking way, dude. You're not gonna waste a fucking book like that. So she grabs the book from the woman and she fucking books it. She leaves. Ollie starts to read this book and finds that it's about a girl like 200 years ago who's trying to, you know, choose between these 2 boys, but then there's like this weird presence type of person in the book. And in between reading this book, Ollie is on a school field trip like the next day. When she's on the school field trip, she notices that the woman she saw by the river crying is the same woman who owns this farm where her class is. She thinks that's weird. But then, you know, they go home, they get on the bus, they're driving back, and the bus breaks down. And her teacher's like, you know what, I'm gonna walk back to the fucking farm and get us some help. And so he goes, leaving his students alone. The bus driver tells the children to like be careful because something and someone is like watching them. And Ollie's watch that hasn't worked for months, but she keeps wearing, flashes one word at her. And that word is run. And before she knows it, her and a few of her classmates are in the forest and they're trying to get away from this smiling scarecrow type fucking dude who's just creepy as fuck. My synopsis does not give it justice. Trust, it does not give it justice. But it's so much fun. These are middle grade novels, but they are so much fun and they're so genuinely creepy. The first book is my personal favorite, but the second book, Dead Voices, is just as fun and just as spooky. But there's something about middle grade horror that honestly just gets me. It just fucking gets me every single time. It's like hook, line, and sinker. I honestly need to reread these, but I always recommend them to like anyone and everyone that I can, because they're just so much fun. Like, look how creepy that cover is. Like, ooh, so spooky. I love these because they're just books about friendship, but also mixed in with like some haunting stuff, some like demon type stuff, some like creepy, like, you know, imagery and, you know, creepy like body horror type moments, but like, you know, made for children. Yeah, these are really, really good, dude. And I think you're gonna love them because I know that you read Thornhill, and I think and I hope you liked Thornhill. And these are kind of in that vein, but like maybe like a little less artsy fartsy and more like fun and like adventure or whatever. Okay, I also need to recommend you a book that Goodreads told me you haven't read yet, and that's, okay, I'm sorry, what are you doing, sir? Sir, can I help you? Look at this fucking guy. He's just, He's so needy. The next book I want to recommend you is A Simple Plan by Scott Smith. How have you not read this? And if you have, I'm so sorry. So, A Simple Plan by Scott Smith is a simple book to understand. It's about 3 people, 2 of them being brothers, 1 of them being their like friend, kind of. And they're out in, you know, the middle of buttfuck nowhere, basically, in the middle of like winter, and they come across this plane that seems to have crashed without anyone noticing. So they go inside the plane and they find the duffel bag filled with money. What do? They take this money, I think it's like $4.4 million. They take it, and our main character, the main one, comes up with a very simple plan on how they can keep all this money without anyone ever being the wiser. A Simple Plan is just, it's so beautiful and so well done. Like, I'm not even kidding that it's like probably like one of the best books I've ever read. The characters like leap off the page. They come to life basically before your eyes. And the writing is so mesmerizing and so easy to get through, and yet at the same time so captivating that you can't really stop. Like, I binged this book in 24 hours. I started it and I did not put it down until it was fucking finished, until it was over, because I loved every single minute of it and I could not put it down. It might honestly be a perfect novel, in my opinion. I cannot think of a single thing that's wrong with this book. Each part of the plot just sort of like locks into every other part, even the parts that are like twists or like shockers, you know, because there are a few of those in the book. There are a few moments where you're kind of like, what the fuck am I reading? Like, you go into it and you don't expect it to just fucking break every single fucking rule, but it does. It literally fucking does. It's so good. It's so good. And because we are deprived, because we are depraved, it is some fucked up shit. There's like blood, and there's gore, and there's like murder and mayhem and messiness, and it's so fucking good, dude. I'm telling you. Tell me exactly what you fucking think of it, because I know you're gonna love it. I know you are. I know you are. The last book I want to talk about is one that I actually haven't read. It's one that I found out about yesterday from one of my commenters on my on like one of my videos, and that is Blood Cruise. So I'm recommending you this book. I have not read it, but it literally just seems like the kind of book that we would fucking love, and I had to mention it because it looks so fucking good. Blood Cruise, from what I can gather, is about, you know, people who go on this like really luxurious and crazy, like expensive cruise. I've never been on a cruise. I've wanted to go on one for years, and then COVID happened and ruined all my plans. We were gonna go to Mexico for Christmas. Didn't happen. Anyway, people go on this cruise. It's like expensive, it's like bougie, and I don't know, I think somebody starts murdering everyone. Like, I don't know. I just saw the cover. Somebody told me it was like a good, bloody, gory fucking mess, and I needed it. I already ordered my copy, and yeah, I had to mention it to you because I know for sure that you would probably also be really interested in it, because it just sounds like so much fun. It sounds like so much fun. So yeah, I had to mention it. Tal, those are all of the book recommendations for this quarter. Let me know what you think of them. Thank you so much for being a patron. Thank you so much for your constant, unwavering support. Like, it means so much to me that you're like always in my fucking corner, and like, I'm telling you, dude, like, you have me in fucking yours. Like, I'm so thankful to you, and I'm so thankful that we've gotten to know each other over these past few months. Yeah, I hope you're doing really, really well. I hope this video finds you well. I hope this video is helpful to you and gives you a little bit more, you know, stuff to get you by in these awful, awful times. I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you in my next one. Bye!